Hey friends, and welcome to my vlog for the Game Expo 2023. I was super excited to be invited to the Game Expo as a creator this year. I didn't get to go last year, so we made the trip. Ended up driving down from Sydney to Melbourne after I finished work for the day, and our first stop was to drop off Suki at my sister's house. My sister also has a cat, Chaos, who is Suki's brother, and we had to reintroduce them to each other before we left so they could actually get along while we were gone. I didn't take much other footage of our trip, but we got to Melbourne around 7 AM. So first time using this camera for any face-to-face vlogging, but hello, I just picked up this camera on the way to Melbourne from our good friend Trash. We are in Melbourne now for the Game Expo. We got here a few hours ago, had about a 10-hour trip from Sydney, stopping along the way, but we've decided to go in a little bit late because we needed some sleep, and now I'm getting ready, Al's in the bathroom, and we're gonna head into. I keep looking at myself in the camera. I don't know if I should look directly at the lens or if it looks weird because I'm looking at the camera now. Anyway, I'll see you there. Ended up getting in around 10:30, 11 o'clock that morning, and the first thing we did was go pick up our badges. I got the creator pass and Alk just got a weekend pass, but he did still participate in some of the creator events. We found one of our good friends, Fizzy, on the way in. He said he was on his way to go sign up for Magic the Gathering later that day, so we joined him.
Just walking through the halls, kind of have no plan. I don't know what to expect, so we found one friend. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. But yeah, we're looking around.
The Game Expo was a little bit smaller than I thought it would be, a lot smaller than conventions like PAX and things, but we were told it was bigger than last year, so that was good.
Stopped to say hi to one person and I've lost out.
Not sure if you can tell, but it was quite loud inside. I did eventually catch up to Alk and Fizz. They were just over at the Magic the Gathering table signing up. It didn't start till 1 PM, so we did have a little bit of time to get ourselves together as we were still tired. So we went over to the Artist Alley to go say hi to some of the friends that were over there. It was a decent sized Artist Alley as well, so we did have a little bit of trouble finding them, but we found them in the end and got to say hello.
Hello, I'd like to make a purchase. 1 Burrows, please.
Just the whole Boris.
Just a whole Burrows. Hello, hello.
They each had their own little artist table, so if you guys are curious and want to purchase some of their things, they do have online stores as well, so I will link them in the description below. We did have a little bit more time to kill, so we stopped by a couple of stores on the way out of the expo hall and went to go get coffee because I definitely needed it after the long trip. We were only running on about 3 hours of stable sleep for the day at this point. We were then back inside, heading down towards the back to Magic the Gathering. We did have a little bit of time to kill, so we stopped by some stalls along the way, including Living Lewd. There are a couple of hoodies that I am definitely eyeing off, so if you guys see this, I would love to collaborate, just saying. I also tried to take as much footage as I could in my sleep-deprived state, so I apologize if I'm missing segments and things. I tried to get friends, cosplayers, exhibitors, everything. It was finally time to go play some Magic. I was going to play, but I couldn't sign into my account, so I was just happy to watch Alk play anyway. It was good because we had a few friends that were playing too.
Please don't open them until I've given them to everybody. I'm smiling for the camera, you're all a lovely audience.
The Magic the Gathering players were assigned people to sit with, and the first thing that they had to do was make a deck. They were given 6 packets to make their deck from, and yes, they could keep the cards afterwards, but it was against the rules to bring any of your own cards into the game, because it was unfair to anyone else. In Alk's first match, or round of matches against his first competitor, he got annihilated, and the prize for winning was 2 more packets of cards. If they did tie, then they could get 1 each as well. I was lucky that we were sat near our good friend QB and I got to catch up with him while they played the games. The games did go for a little bit, so I found some friends and we walked around to more of the booths to do some shopping and find some freebies and things. For following Keychron on Instagram, we got a little keychain. MSI did have a claw machine as well that you could take a few chances at getting a keychain or some other goodies like a mouse pad. However, if you didn't win, they still gave you one if you wanted, and I got this little dragon friend. Minx was probably the only person I saw win at that claw machine. We then went to Soy Toy Club and they have some really cute outfits. So once again, if you guys want to work together, hit me up. And then we found Jolly Creations and I bought one of the shirts, that Studio Ghibli one of Spirited Away, just there. And we also ran into our good friend Ash, who at the time was talking to one of the guys from Button Fox. He looked absolutely stunning as Peach. And then I had access up to the VIP lounge as a creator. They had a bar up there that was VIP only and a little place to sit down and chill. Alk was also done by now, so we headed over to the Just Dance area to go catch up with Tika. This is the moment she spotted us. She was basically running the Just Dance booth by herself and she was doing a wonderful job. It was about time for Alk and I to go find something to eat, so we got a pie, a burger and some chippies to share. Then we were back on the floor and having another little walk around just to see if we missed anything. There were booths there like the Cookie Brigade and Cure Cancer Speed Running that were raising money for charity. Alk was super interested in the speed cubing because he loves his Rubik's Cubes. There was a retro console area where you could play old consoles on different TVs and things. There were also a bunch of different arcade machines that I hadn't seen before, and they also had a version of Dance Dance Revolution.
Later in the panel, but period, and it kind of just grew from there. So I've been Twitch streaming for about 3 years now.
We then went over to the panel section where some of our content creator friends were up on a panel discussing their different streaming journeys and content journeys. And we also had a lot of friends in the audience as well that we could sit with and hang with, and it was just a good vibe all around. It's great to see that there were a lot of upcoming creators there as well, and also learn that we all go through the same sort of struggles and different obstacles in our content creation journeys. We did meet afterwards for a little group photo after the panel, so here is us with some more creative friends, and here is the photo. I then decided that it was about time to go and chill for a little bit, so we went out of the expo hall and went to get some bubble tea. Everyone had dinner plans and things, so we wanted to meet up with them a little bit later. Day one is pretty much done. We are sitting in the car to just have a little break. Alk was taking a little bit of a nap. Everyone has decided to meet up at Fortress soon, so I think we're going to go there so we just get to see everyone a little bit more and hang out. Otherwise we don't want it to be like a waste of a trip. And yeah, I will probably record more when we get there, but for now, resting. We were going to tram it to Fortress, but unfortunately a bunch of trams were backed up because there was the AFL, the Grand Prix, the Flower Festival and a food festival on at the same time as the Game Expo. So we ended up walking most of the way to Fortress before the tram started working again, and then we jumped on them. When we got to the tavern, we were lucky Ree had saved us a seat, and it wasn't long before a bunch more friends started to show up as well. I had been to Melbourne Fortress before, but I had actually never been in the tavern, so it was kind of cool to see how different it was from the Sydney one because we spent a lot of time there at Sydney. This was also my first time trying the lemon ice grog, and it was quite tasty. While we were looking for other chairs, we ordered some food, and poor Alk had to sit on his own for a little bit, but he was happy because he was at least eating. And I got the loaded fries, which were very tasty and just what I needed at the end of the day. I didn't do too much more recording, but these are the friends that came by. We got a couple of photos, and I was just enjoying our night out with them. Lucky for us, the tram started working by the time we left as well. We are back home now from Fortress. Alk is looking for rice to cook. And I am tired, so I'm already dressed in my pajamas and I want to go to bed. Tomorrow, don't have a lot planned. Alk might be in the Apex tournament. Otherwise, we might be meeting up for a Ubisoft photo and might be seeing some extra friends. And I think that's it. Not much else planned. I will see you guys then. The official day 2 begins and I look tired AF. We were lucky our friends Buzz and Ash ended up getting Alk to participate in the Apex tournament. So we arrived a little bit early so he could join a team and we could just hang out while he got ready. There were a couple of issues with the server, so we went to find coffee.
You get a chunky one.
Thank you!
Oh god.
We ran into Zombies and Shelby, who was giving out axolotls if you ran up to them and said in a gremlin voice, "Gimme the axolotl." We also got some freebies along the way and ran into more friends who stopped by the Apex Creator Tournament too. This is now me trying my best to get as many shots as Alk's team as I could and try and get as many point of view shots so you guys could actually see the tournament. In this video, I actually got Alk reacting to him being eliminated, and that was pretty funny to catch. The tournament itself was being streamed from the SteelSeries Twitch channel, and it was also being projected on a screen at the back. There were a lot of creative friends coming and going, so I did try to get them. And there was a special guest, Simply Allegra, who is the voice actor for Bloodhound out of Apex Legends. It was super cool to get her on camera near the guys as well, and she even went up to Asylum to talk to him about his pop after the interview. When it was time for the final match, we moved over to the big screen to watch the tournament and to cheer our boys on.
Nice 83, is there another one? Just not quite.
It was much better than watching the game on stream because it was a little bit delayed. But in the last round, Alk's team came second. They were unfortunately trapped on the low ground and got bested by the team that were up the top, but they did really well and I was very proud of both Alk and Buzz for competing in the Creator Tournament last minute. Just before the final standings were shown, they did have one round of Apex where all of the creators jumped in the boxing ring and punched each other to see who would be the last man standing. The winners of that got a little goodie bag to take home, which was really sweet. And here are the final results. Buzz's team ended up coming 3rd overall and Alk's team came 6th. There were 17 squads participating and 40 to 50 people, so those were some good odds. After the match, the Apex creators went up for a celebratory drink and a photo to snap of the whole squad. After that, a couple of the Ubisoft ANZ creators that were there that weekend organized a creator photo as well. So we went downstairs from where we were just to snap a UbiFam photo while everyone was there. It was kind of funny because we kept seeing more Ubisoft creators walking by as we went to take the photo, so we were just dragging everyone in all at once. After the photos, it was time for food because I was hungry. We didn't stay for too much longer on that afternoon because we did have a long drive ahead of us the next day, so we returned back to the expo and basically did a few more walks around the expo hall, checking out cosplayers, having a look in the artist alley, saying goodbye to friends, and just having one last final moment covering the Game Expo. There were a bunch of indie games that I would have loved to have checked out while we were there, but I was very tired after everything, so I have written down some names and will look back on the vlog to check them out in future. So maybe keep an eye on the channel to see what games I will play out of the games that you see here. I'm very lucky because I do actually have a few demo keys already, so there are a few that I will definitely play, but so many of the indie games were very interesting and I'm excited to check them out. Also, kudos to all of the artists that were there in the artist alley. Even though it wasn't the most busy expo, I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. And to all the creators that participated as well during the panels or the tournaments, I hope you guys had a great time like we did. We didn't end up going out that night for dinner, so we didn't see any more friends before our trip ended, and I didn't get any footage of our trip home. Only this footage of Suki falling asleep in my lap when we picked her up. We ended up leaving Melbourne on the Monday around 10:30, 11 a.m. and we didn't get back to Sydney until 2 a.m. So it was a big trip for us. In my opinion, it was totally worth it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this vlog, even though it was a short one, and I hope you keep an eye out for any more vlogs that might come up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.